Hi, I'm Steggy from Elgato, and this are Elgato Facecam. Facecam is one of the newest products to release from Elgato and is our very first webcam. But I should clarify, this isn't your everyday webcam. Elgato Facecam bridges the gap between conventional webcams and professional cameras paired with CamLink by offering professional grade quality in an easy to use webcam form factor. At a glance, Elgato Facecam is a USB 3.0 webcam which sends completely uncompressed 1080p 60fps video to your computer over the included detachable USB-C to USB-A cable. But let's dive a little bit deeper into what makes Facecam so great. First, let's talk about the hardware. At the heart of Facecam lies a Sony STARVIS CMOS sensor. Now, a fun fact if you're unfamiliar with the camera industry, but Sony doesn't just make sensors for their own cameras, but you can also find Sony sensors in other major brands' cameras, camcorders, and smartphone cameras. So naturally, we incorporated this into Facecam, and we tuned this for indoor use for the best performance and clarity you can get. Elgato Facecam offers uncompressed 1080p 60fps video with incredibly high fidelity and low latency. Now, the thing I want to stress here is that while there might be a handful of 1080p 60 webcams on the market, most utilize compressed video feeds using codecs like MJPEG or H.264, which increase latency and reduce overall image quality due to that compression. Meanwhile, Facecam's video feed is completely uncompressed, so you just have a super clean image that's so buttery smooth and fast. And of course, a camera is only as good as the lens you put in front of it. So while conventional webcams turn to plastic lenses, we wanted to take this a bit further. So we created the Elgato Prime Lens, an all-glass lens with 8 elements with multi-layered coatings that ensures the best quality image reaches that Sony STARVIS sensor. The Elgato Prime Lens is the full-frame equivalent of 24mm, so you'll have a diagonal field of view of about 82 degrees, which is really in the sweet spot because it offers a nice wide angle, but not too wide at the cost of image quality. Because the Elgato Prime Lens is an ultra-low distortion lens, which means it doesn't have the fisheye effect that other webcams can have when they have a wide field of view. The Elgato Prime Lens offers an aperture of f2.4, which lets in plenty of light for great performance, but also offers a healthy depth of field for focus, which is an important thing to note when discussing the focus of Facecam. Because Facecam is a fixed focus camera, which means that it's tuned to a specific focus distance, and that is paired with the lens's aperture, which determines your focus range. What this means is, for the best performance with Elgato Facecam, you want to be in that focus range. This focus range is roughly 30 centimeters to 120 centimeters, which covers any type of desk setup you might have. Now, if you have a setup where you want to stand 10 feet away from your camera the entire time, Facecam's performance is comparable to autofocus webcams due to Facecam's uncompressed video versus other webcams' compressed video. However, we wouldn't actually recommend webcams for this type of setup due to how small you'd be in terms of framing and pixel count. Instead, we would recommend cameras with an optical zoom, such as Epoch Cam or a camera paired with CamLink for the best quality. Facecam is a UVC device, meaning it can work directly in any app that accepts a webcam on Windows or Mac computers. And together with Facecam, we're proud to launch our Camera Hub software for Windows and Mac. This software allows you to control all of the settings and features of Facecam, so you don't have to resort to using UVC controls that can be hard to understand. Now, when developing this software, we wanted to treat Facecam less like a webcam and more like a real camera. So instead of using webcam-specific controls like gain and brightness, with Camera Hub you control Facecam's shutter speed, ISO, white balance, and more. This is for 2 reasons. Number 1, a lot of education you can find online about learning the basics of video usually involves traditional cameras and camcorders, which uses these standardized terms. So if you want to learn more about video and how to dial in the best settings for your Facecam, this will make things a lot easier to follow along. Secondly, as you grow as a creator, your gear might change. There could be a day where you graduate from Facecam to a CamLink 4K and a mirrorless camera. So instead of spending a lot of time learning about the concepts of video exposure using webcam controls, and then having to relearn that all over again using standard camera controls, with Camera Hub, you don't have to worry about this because our goal is to unify traditional camera controls with USB webcams. Now, an important note with Facecam is that it does not include a built-in microphone. And if you're wondering why, the answer is quite simple. If the microphone in your webcam can't exceed the quality of a headset or dedicated mic, why put money into that at the expense of something more important? So we left out the mic completely because we know you don't want to use a webcam mic over a headset or a dedicated mic. And we focused on more important things, such as putting in a top-of-the-line image sensor or implementing built-in memory into Facecam. What's this built-in memory, you ask? Well, again, we paid attention to how people actually use webcams in the real world. And we've recognized that a pain point in using them is, once you've dialed in your perfect settings for your particular setup, they're lost once you restart your computer. And sometimes even when you open your webcam in a new app. So then you have to waste your time dialing in your settings all over again. Now, we wanted to fix this pain point. And now, while we could have gone the easy route and just have our app remember your camera settings, so if you restarted your computer or for any other reason your camera settings reset, you could just open up the app to bring those settings back, but we wanted to take this a step further. So with Facecam, you can save your camera settings directly to the camera's built-in memory. Now, you do use our software in order to do this. However, once you find your perfect white balance, ISO, contrast, saturation, and more, you just click this icon to save it all to Facecam. Now, these settings are your Facecam's factory default settings. In other words, if you were to change your camera settings in your UVC controls menu, and then hit reset to default, it'll revert back to the settings you saved to Facecam. And this happens no matter what computer you use Facecam on afterward, so you never have to worry about losing your settings again. This has been our philosophy when developing Facecam. We wanted to analyze how our product would be used in the real world, and maximize the performance of what actually matters, and not throw things in needlessly that would either hinder the quality of more important components or blow up the price to a point where it's no longer financially accessible. The end result is a webcam like you've never seen before. This is our vision of Facecam, and we think you're really going to love it. Facecam is now available on Elgato.com. Be sure to check out the links in the description panel to learn more. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. And don't forget to hit that like button and get subscribed so you can catch the rest of our videos and tutorials to learn how to unlock the full power of your Elgato products. Once again, I'm Steggy from Elgato, and until our next video, good luck and have fun.